The following takes place between 5:15 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. You're watching Cooking with Nelson and Healthy Cooking on a Budget. I'm Nelson May. Today, we're going to cook chicken soup in a crock pot as we continue our On the Road to the Ultimate Crock Pot recipe series. This chicken soup is wonderful. It's going to cost you about $5 or $6 and it's going to feed you for 4 or 5 days. So let's take a look and let's make it. Let's go ahead and take a look at all our ingredients. First off, we have some egg noodles. They're about $2 a bag, and they're about a 16-ounce bag, and I've got about 4 cups of them right there in a bowl. Now, we also have some chives, or some green onions. Got those for 79 cents. 2 carrots. Got those for 44 cents. We have a chicken breast. That's about, I'd say about $1.50 or so. And we also have our Knorr chicken bouillon. That was on sale for $1.39. So we're going to use 2 of those cubes, and basically we'll use about 35 to 50 cents for the chicken broth. I want to talk about our chicken bouillon. I suggest that you get the Knorr brand. This is the Mac Daddy of chicken bouillon. It tastes good, it's salty, and it's healthy. And now it's time to prepare the ingredients. Well, I've already took the liberty of chopping up the chicken, so we don't have to do that later, but do chop up your chicken in nice little chunks. I think you'll like it better in your soup. But we're going to chop up the chives next. So basically, I just take them, and I also take my trusty ulu. We talked about this in the last recipe. This ulu is a wonderful cutting instrument. Just lets you do a little chop, 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 chop like that. Just little down and chop, little down and chop. And there we go, we got some chives. Oh, nice and neat. I'll tell you, this ulu is just absolutely wonderful. So next, we're gonna go ahead and chop up our onions, or rather our carrots. So let's go ahead and put our chives in the bowl, and let's go ahead with our carrots. Again, let's just take the ulu, do a little chop, chop, chop. Just like to boom it right down through there just like that. Knock out those carrots. Okay, a little extra in there. Let's put some in the bowl. Let's do some more. Carrot, 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 carrot. Oh, by the way, somebody sent me an email and said they weren't too appreciative of my non-washing my hands joke. Well, let me tell you something. We got a crock pot over there boiling at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, I'm telling you, that is some hot stuff for about 3 hours. There is nothing that is going to get out of that crock pot alive that is going to bother you, okay? Except for maybe some of that bacteria that lives in those hydrogeothermal sulfur vents in the Galapagos Islands. So there's really nothing to worry about. Okay, so let's go ahead and chop up some more of our carrots here. Like that. We'll just go ahead and put our carrots in the same bowl as our onions. And there you have it. We're ready to put our ingredients in our chicken soup. As promised, we're going to put our ingredients in our crock pot and make some serious chicken noodle soup. First of all, I want you to take 2 cubes of Knorr chicken bouillon. Just go ahead and plop them in. Now, we also have some other spices here we can take a look at. We have some salt and pepper to grind. We also have some black pepper and garlic powder, or real garlic. Now, because the chicken bouillon is loaded with salt and has some other good stuff in it that I really don't know, but I like to put a little bit more salt in my chicken soup. So I just give it about a 1/4 teaspoon from the salt mill, which is about 4 cranks. I also like to put in a little bit of black pepper, give it about a 1/4 teaspoon. Let's go ahead and do about 4 cranks here. And there's our pepper. Now, I like my chicken soup to have a little bit of a kick to it, so I put in red pepper. I'm gonna shake in the equivalent, of about a 1/4 to a 1/2 teaspoon, about as much as you think you can tolerate. And then finally, our garlic. Well, I don't like garlic powder, so the hell with this. I like real garlic. And as you can see, I've minced a little bit up here and put it in with my vegetables. So let's go ahead and put our garlic and our vegetables in our mix. And then finally, let's go ahead and add our chunked up chicken. And there you go. Now, you want to turn the crock pot on high, and we're going to let this cook for about 3 to 4 hours. And when we come back, we're going to add the noodles, and we're going to see some serious chicken noodle soup. We're back, and now it's time to put the noodles into our chicken noodle soup. Well, our crock pot's been boiling away for about 3 to 4 hours here, and you can just see the steam rising off of it. Now, to make the noodles cook effectively, I want you to turn off the crock pot. We don't want the noodles boiling consistently in the water, because all it's going to do is kind of make them mush up and break into little pieces. They're not going to taste very good. Now, the water in your crock pot is hot enough as it is right now. When you turn it off, it's going to begin to cool down a little bit, just because of the temperature leaving the crock pot and going into the rest of the room. So what we want to do is we want to take our noodles, go ahead and pour them into the crock pot and make sure they're completely underwater. And if you do need to pour a little bit of water on top to cover up the noodles, go ahead and do that, but do make sure they're submerged. And just let them sit in the crock pot mixture for about 15 minutes or so, and I guarantee those noodles will suck up the water and cook, and you will have chicken soup. 15 minutes later, and we have some serious chicken noodle soup. Look at the steam just coming up off of this bad boy. This stuff looks good. Now, the carrots are soft, the onions have sort of melted a little bit, and the juices have come out of the onions into the chicken broth, and those noodles that we put in have absorbed that broth, and this stuff is absolutely kicking. Take a look. Well, here it is, chicken soup on a budget, cooked in a crock pot for about 4 hours, cost about $5 to make. 15 minutes of prep time, as I promised. It'll feed a family of 4, and it'll feed me about 5 times, so I hope you liked it. If you want more on this recipe, go to my website, www.relaxandeat.com. Oh, I know you want to know why I'm wearing different clothes and glasses. Well, these are my going out clothes. I'm actually heading out tonight to my buddy JC Clark's 40th birthday party, and since we're cooking on a budget, JC, I may not be able to buy you a beer, but anyway, I wish you a happy birthday anyway. And also, Gail, I'm wearing my cowboy boots. I want you to take a look at those. Once again, I'm Nelson May, and you're watching Cooking with Nelson. We'll have more recipes to come. Check us out on my website, www.relaxandeat.com.